Hey there everyone, welcome to my Cooking with Susan Facebook page or YouTube channel, whichever one you're catching this on. My name is Susan Arndt. I'm an independent consultant with Pampered Chef, and I'm going to show you tonight how to use our hand pie and pocket maker to make little individual pot pies. This is a scoop that comes with, so really nice for scooping the filling in between the layers of dough. The recipe I'm going to make is one that I have made for years from scratch. It's going to start with my cream soup base. I have to give credit to my sister Becky for giving me the recipe for that. We both do like to use homemade soup bases when we make hot dishes or soups, and she gave me that recipe. I modified it just a little bit. I don't even remember the changes that I did, but I do have to give her credit for that. So I'm going to make that first. And I just want to give you a preview because that will be the base for the pot pies. Then we'll add in the veggies. I'll be using turkey, and I will also show you how to make the homemade dough recipe that I use when I make these from scratch as well. I've just never made little individual ones before, so this will be really fun. I usually just put them in a pie pan and make them that way. But the preview that I wanted to show you of the items I'll be using for the cream soup recipe will be our Rockcrok Dutch oven. That's a 4-quart size. The sauce Whisk, which I'm excited to try for this. I haven't used this on my cream soup recipe yet. I think that'll be really good for getting that mixed up. The small mix and scraper. The garlic press. I will be adding garlic into that, and then also the 1 teaspoon adjustable measuring spoon that I will measure out the soup base flavoring in, and Pampered Chef's garlic and herb seasoning, of course, just to make it all better. So I am going to get started with that. I'll have to move over to the stove and show you my cream soup recipe. So I have my butter melting away in the Rockcrok here, and I have this sauce Whisk I was telling you about that it has the silicone coils, so it's really nice. It's not going to scratch your nonstick cookware, and it's just really the way it's designed. It's going to help to get everything up off the bottom. It's really nice to be able to just kind of push the butter down and assist in the melting process. But there's 1/3 cup of butter in there right now. This recipe, and then it calls for 2/3 of a cup of flour, 4 cups of milk. I use 2%. You can use whichever one you would like. And then 4 teaspoons of bouillon. I really like to use this one right here. It's this one is a no chicken bouillon. Again, you guys that know me, that have seen my videos or know me in person, know that I have a vegetarian in my family, so whenever I make something, I want her to be able to try it as well. So I will be using that and then leaving the turkey out of the pot pie so that she can enjoy them too. But my butter is just about melted, and then I will need to add 2/3 of a cup of flour, and I'm going to want to add that slowly. So I actually have our 1/3 cup from the measuring cup set here. I'm just going to shake it off. It doesn't have to be exact. In fact, I don't even have quite 4 cups of milk, which is what I usually use. It's close, but when it comes to that point, I will just use what I have. This is something, it's only going to affect the thickness of it, so depending on how thick or thin you want it or what you're making with this, it might be different every time you make it. You might want a little less milk, a little more milk. It just depends on how you're using it. But the important thing is to add the flour slowly. So you're going to want to, this is just 1/3 of a cup. I'm going to need 2 of these. But you are going to want to just put a little bit in and get that mixed up really good so that it's not lumpy. Otherwise you're going to end up with a lumpy soup base, and that's never fun. So just when you see it gets mixed in and the lumps are gone, then you know it's ready to add some more. And this is the first time I have used this sauce Whisk for this. Normally I use just a regular whisk, and it is not just because I'm selling Pampered Chef now that I'm going to say this, but with the way you can see it's designed, that flat bottom where most whisks kind of come to a point, at the bottom, this is actually working amazing. I'm very messy with flour. I admit that. So yes, I'm gonna let you guys know this is working awesome for this. It's getting right in there to the edges, getting all of the surface covered, and works great. I'm very happy with this sauce whisk. I did use this for eggs before, but I don't think I've used it for the cream soup recipe. So once I get this mixed together, you're going to want it to be kind of the consistency of peanut butter before you add your milk. So, and that is how it's looking right now. I did forget to get my milk out of the fridge, so I haven't measured up already. I'm just going to grab that. This is our small batter bowl, and I have the milk pre-measured out. Like I said, this is a 4-cup bowl, and it does not come quite to the 4-cup line. It is very close. But again, with the milk, when you add it, just like with the flour, you are going to want to do a little bit at a time. If you try to speed up this process, you're going to find that it actually is going to slow you down because you will have those lumps to deal with. Unless you like it lumpy. If you like it lumpy, add it all in. So I am just gonna do this first little bit here, get it mixed in. I don't know if you guys can see it very good. Hopefully you can. I hope you can see well enough to appreciate what I'm referring to when I talk about this sauce whisk, how it actually is working great because it covers the surface. It goes flat down onto the surface just to get everything mixed up. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I melted the butter on medium. I turned it up to about medium high. And then once I get all of the flour added in, I'm going to want to keep stirring it until it bubbles, and then add the rest of the ingredients. So you guys probably don't want to sit here and watch me do this the whole time, so I'm just going to add a little bit more milk. You can see how it's coming along there, and when I get all of the milk added and it starts to bubble, I'll hop back on here and show you the rest of the ingredients that I add to it. So it's starting to bubble and thicken up, so I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. So the first thing I'm going to add is the bouillon. Oh, I can't believe I got it open. That's one thing with this. It's usually hard to open when you take it out of the fridge. So this is really nice because with the adjustable measuring spoon set, I'll show you. You can get it measured, kind of get the excess off on the side, and just push it right out. And I'm going to do this 4 times because I need 4 teaspoons. And this doesn't have to be exact either. So kind of to your liking, if you want it a little bit more flavorful or not quite so much, that will be your guide for how much you like to use. So I have the bouillon in there, and now I need to add some pepper. I'm not going to add any salt. I don't usually add salt when I'm cooking to anything, but I always add pepper. And this is pepper grinder from our salt and pepper grinder set. I just love it. I think it's so sleek looking and just really has an elegant look as well. So that was the pepper. And what I mentioned before, our garlic and herb mix. So this is just going to be to taste. I usually just kind of give it a little shake to get everything mixed up too. But I think I'm just going to fill up the cap. Almost a cap full. And just add that to it. And usually I use the butter in the beginning to mix with the flour, but I do like to just add olive oil. And I just usually kind of dump. It's probably about 1/3 of a cup that I put in there, but olive oil is very healthy for you, and it just, I think, I don't know if I can really say it adds any flavor, but we know it adds healthiness. So I added in there. And am I forgetting anything? I have the olive oil. Oh, my garlic. I wanted to do a clove of garlic in here also. I already have one done up from when I made something the other day. So you just put that in there and just press it in. Just take the whisk and kind of get the extras off of there. And of course I made a mess. I'm good at that. So I have that added in. Just give it a stir here. It's looking really good. I'm going to try to bring the camera down here so you guys can see it. Actually, sorry. I have to take it off of my stand, but I really want you to see how good this looks. And of course, I can't see what I am trying to show you, but I think I have it in here. So it really makes a very good soup base. And you can doctor this up however you want. Use it for hot dishes. Even just like that, it's really good to eat it just plain. I've done that before. But I do suggest adding vegetables and maybe some meat to it. Oops, I didn't get that. Oh, I am going to now let this simmer and move on to, oh gosh, I'll duck. Let this simmer and then get my ingredients ready for the pie crust and be back with that. So I have carrots and peas added into here, and before I add in the turkey, I'm going to take some out and just put in one of our little, these are our 1 cup prep bowl sets. They're a set of 6 and they all come with lids. They're just really nice if you have a small amount of something that you want to just put in the fridge, leftovers, anything like that. So I'm going to put my daughter's vegetarian portion in here until I'm ready to make the pot pies, and then once I'm ready to make them, I'll make hers with that. But right now I'm going to show you, I had turkey cooked up from, actually this might have been Christmas. I'd bought 2 turkeys at Thanksgiving time, and then I cooked the one up for Thanksgiving, and I think just later on I did the second one, but I didn't really make much with it. So I put it in the freezer. So right now it is still a little bit frozen. We took it out last night and it's still a little frozen. You can hear my knife kind of goes down with a little chop, but our chef's coated knife is working so good. Just to chop up the turkey. It's not completely frozen. It's just mainly the center that is a little more solid to cut through, but this is doing that no problem. I love this chef's knife. I'm going to make these really small because of the smaller pot pies that I'm making. Normally when I make them in a pie pan, I leave bigger chunks of, it's usually chicken that I use, but since this is going to be on a smaller version, we are going to want smaller pieces of meat just so they work better. Oh, I will show you our little scooper thing here too. It works really good for getting anything you've cut up into your bowl or pan or wherever you need to move it. I'm going to do a little more turkey here. Rich just came in. Well, he went out again now, but they're working on Caitlin's car. She's been having some issues with it, but hopefully they can get it going and get it running and dependable for her. You definitely need a dependable car in the winter like this, that's for sure. So I'm just going to pause this while I finish doing up this turkey, and then I will hop back on. Hi, so as you all know, sometimes cooking is about improvising and experimenting. So my pie crust recipe, I just looked for my ingredients to gather them up, and I realized I do not have Crisco, because the recipe is 3 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 1 egg beaten, 1/2 cup of Crisco, 1/2 cup of margarine. I like to use Smart Balance, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/3 of a cup of cold water. So I am going to improvise, and instead of using half Crisco, half margarine, I will just use the whole Crisco. In the past, when I've used butter, I don't feel like it's turned out as well. So we will see how this goes. Hopefully it will be even better, new and improved. So first of all, I want to stir together the flour and the salt, and I'm going to do that in our classic batter bowl. You saw me use the smaller 4-cup one earlier. This is our 8-cup one. So I need to put 3 cups of flour. Whoop, let me grab my... So this is from, I still had the 1/3 of a cup one in there from earlier when I made the cream soup. So this I do want my measurements to be precise for. So I'm going to use this little Pampered Chef tool here to level off my measuring cups. So I need 3 of these. And you can kind of use it to push it back there too into the empty spot, and then just level it all out. All right, so that's 3 cups of flour, and it does call for 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I am just gonna guess on that though. I have no idea how many turns would be 1/2 teaspoon, but I'm gonna say that's good right there. And so this is the salt grinder from our salt and pepper grinder set I was talking about earlier. And just want to mix this together. And then add the margarine. So it will be 1 cup of margarine. Like I said, I use Smart Balance. I'm using more of the Pampered Chef tools tonight than I thought I was going to need, but I'm glad I have them. They come in handy. So I have my margarine measured into the measuring cup here, and this is the fun part, just push it out. And it comes off pretty much almost all of the way clean. There is going to be just a little bit left. If you want to get that extra last bit, go ahead and just wipe it off. And that is great for getting every last bit out. So this does say to cut the margarine and Crisco, but of course we're just using the margarine. Cut it into the flour until it resembles coarse crumbs. I'm actually not even using like a pastry blender right now. I'm just going to use my spoon, get it kind of broken up and cut into that. Just going to work on this for a little bit here. So now that I have my flour and margarine mixture in here to resemble coarse crumbs, I just used the spoon and just kind of kept doing this chopping motion and stirring it. So now I want to mix together 1 egg beaten, 1/3 of a cup of cold water, which I do have in here, and then also 1 tablespoon of vinegar. So I'm going to add my egg into the cold water, and then add in 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And I used the 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, the adjustable, of course, from the set earlier with the cream soup. When you order the set, you get a teaspoon and a tablespoon. This is the tablespoon. So I need 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And I just want to show you again how that slides. It just slides so easily to the measurements that are marked on here, but I had it all the way back for the tablespoon. And so now I just want to give this a quick mix together. And then I will add it into the flour mixture. Rich is in here. I'm going to see if he needs anything. All right, so I'm just going to add this into the flour mixture.
try to keep it in.
Okay. Rich is taking a speaker out to the garage for him and Caitlin to listen to music while they're working on their car. So depending on how loud they have it, you might have music in the background, we'll see. That'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Okay, so just gonna stir it around till it gets blended together. Once this gets blended together, I need to form it into a ball and put it, I'll cover this, which is really handy because there's this nice little lid for that, and leave it sit in the fridge for 20 minutes to chill and kind of get a little just firmed up a little bit. I will take it out and then we can start the fun process of making our little pot pies. So making a chicken pot pie from scratch is not something I would claim is quick or easy, but it is definitely worth it. So you can do this from scratch, you know, making your own soup base, making your own pie crust, and enjoy a true homemade pot pie. Or you can also take a shortcut and use the canned soup and add your vegetables and meat, as well as pick up pre-made pie crusts. Totally up to you. But the part that I wanted to show you as far as putting it together, which would be the same no matter which route you take, is making the little individual ones with the pie maker. And I want to show you, I have a couple done here. So like I said, this is the first time I've used it. This is one of those things where practice will make perfect, I can tell. This is the first one I did, and this one here is my second one. So I'm going to just show you how I made those. And I will be baking some on the bar pan that I just showed you in the oven, and then I'm going to make some in my Pampered Chef air fryer, which is right over there, and see which way I like them better. I think I'm going to do them both at 375 degrees and then kind of experiment with how long it takes, but I will post under the comments when I post the recipe what I found out and figured out for a time and temperature for sure on those. So with putting these together, just start with a handful of your dough. So this refrigerated for 20 minutes, and like I said, if you want to use store-bought already made pie crust, you could certainly do that. But if you go this route, pretty much a handful of the dough, and then also our baker's roller works really great just to get it rolled out. You're going to want the base, the gray part, sitting on your counter, or you know, it'll be the bottom portion of it. Just roll this out. This makes quick, easy work of it. Layer that right in your pie maker. I'm working on Caitlin's vegetarian ones right now, so just add a couple scoops of that, maybe a little more for good measure. You don't want to get too much either, or the crust might break when you go in. Yep. Oh. So then grab another, just a handful of dough, flatten it out. This works really great for that. Just very easy to get it done in no time at all. And this is something you can just go with how your own preference for how thin or thick you would like the crust to be. So when you put it on, you can see the grooves. The bottom portion has grooves also. Line up the handles, and also these little, there's these little pieces on the side that stick out. Just kind of press it down, lift it up, tear this away. Ooh, this one, I can tell I'm getting better. This one looks better than my first two. If you had a knife, you could use a knife too and just cut around the side of it, but I think I'm good. I'm gonna lift this up to show you. So that's what it looks like, and just kind of dump it out. This should just release, my other ones did. And that is a little personal chicken pot pie, or vegetarian pot pie. So I am just going to keep plugging away at these, but I do want to show you, you can also make little half ones too, like half circle ones. But for now, we're just gonna show you the whole thing. I will do one more here. I'll do one more with the turkey. Oh, it's a little bit too much. Again, roll it out flat. Your own, I'm not sure if you can see, your own liking for as far as the thickness. I am going to do a turkey one here. Oh, so this is the little scoop that comes with if you want to use the soup pan. Just kind of try, if you want to make sure your measurements are exact each time. So this is pretty much a flat to level scoop. I would say that I would need 2 of these. Actually, I would use 3. And that one wasn't level. You know, it's up to you if you want to use the scoop or not, or you could just use a bigger spoon and then you could just do it all at once. However you like, but it is nice that they give you that option. And just put it on there, press it down. If you want, you can kind of tear it away from the side. If you notice, the last time I didn't do that, I just took the top off and then pulled it away, but whichever way works. Oops. So apparently I forgot to put a top on. Yeah, you don't want to forget that step. Here I thought I was going along so good. Well, just roll out another piece here. Lets you see how quick and easy work it is of rolling it out. So yes, very important step. Put the top on. And then you put this one on. Well, how did you come to laugh at me? I don't know if you could see my catwalk behind me here. That's Mopar. All right. So now I will tear this away. That looks much better, doesn't it? So get those little extra pieces off unless you want to leave them on. And that's what it looks like. Just let gravity kind of pull it out. Take any extra pieces off. Kind of reshape if you need to. And there is that chicken pot pie. So I'm going to do up the rest of these. It looks like I will probably be getting about 5 or 6, probably 6 out of this batch with the way I'm making it. But I love dough. I love doughy things. If you don't, you can just roll it out thinner. You might want to use a little less of the filling. I'm not real sure, just to make sure it doesn't come through the dough. And I will let you know when I am done and let you know how they turn out. This bar stone pan versus the air fryer. I will post pictures either way, and hopefully you guys, if you try this, hopefully you'll have as much fun as I do making it and using this handy little pie maker. Thank you. Take care. Sorry, whenever I think I'm done, I guess I'm not really done. So I wanted to show you how much. I made 6 of the pies using this, and this is how much I have left of my soup base that has the veggies in and the turkey. So I just wanted to let you know, if you don't make a double batch of the pie crust to where you'd have extra dough for making more of those, an easy way to use this is to just add a little bit of milk. I'm just going to put this in the fridge for tonight, but tomorrow I'm going to cook up some noodles, add a little bit of milk to this just to thin it out a little bit, and then bake it right in here for a really good hot dish. So there's a couple different ways that you can use that cream soup recipe, and or you could just mix up some more of the dough and make more little pot pies, make a larger pot pie. But I just wanted to let you know kind of how much I have left of that mixture compared to how many little pies it made. So I have the air fryer going, you can hear that. I have the other ones in the oven, so I am anxious to see how they are and which way I like them better. I will post that in the comments, those results for you. Take care.